Welcome to Sunshine Art and Drawing. Today I'm going to be using this puppy reference photo to be doing a lovely watercolour painting. So first of all I'm going to be doing it in layers. So the first layer is doing the background, which is a kind of cement sort of ground and then a lot of paint that's been splattered everywhere. So let's start off with this cement background. And I'm just doing this with a very light wash of some black watercolour in a little bit of water to make a very pale grey colour, and then I'm purposely making it a bit streaky because I want it to look a bit textured like cement. So I'm using a big brush and I'm doing sort of streaky lines in all different directions to kind of make it look like pieces of sidewalk, I guess. And I'm going to add a little bit of water at this point because I want to smooth it out so it's not too like there's not any missing bits, like it's all one sort of solid painted area, even though it's supposed to look a little bit kind of streaky. And once I've done that, I will use a piece of paper towel just to add some texture and just get rid of any excess water, and adds a little bit of sort of splotchy texture, which is quite handy for this one. Grab a hairdryer and dry it off, or if you're more patient than I am, pop it to the side and let it dry off. The page was quite wet and I didn't want the page to buckle too much, so I did dry it off with a hairdryer while moving it around a bit to kind of smooth it out. That can help a little bit if your page is a little bit crinkled, but as you can see it's a bit crinkly, it doesn't matter. I also smoothed it out to give some sort of ridges in the paper as well. It's going to be A3, but it's going to be in portrait like this. And I'm just using a white pencil, which is super handy if you're going to be doing something in watercolour, because a white pencil can be really handy to mark out any areas or pop in any details that you want to capture and you don't want to paint in those areas. Now grab 3 primary colours, because I noticed in the reference photo they only really use yellow, red and blue. And I'm using the edge of the little palette, but you can just use a toothbrush or any kind of brush and flick it against your thumb. And that will give you that kind of speckledy paint everywhere splotchiness, which was all over the ground in this photo. So I'm just adding red here and there, and I will be adding some blue in a moment. And once that's all done, I popped that whole thing to the side to dry really well. So I left that kind of overnight to dry. Once I had put all the splotches everywhere I wanted to, I wanted some big dots as well as some like really fine kind of misty sort of splotches. And here's the next part. I'm going to be doing those little paintings that are on the ground in the background. So I'm just making some really simple kind of designs, just using a pen because I know this pen is waterproof, so if I put watercolour over it, it's not going to run. And I did 4 little canvases and then a little half canvas to put in the background. And I just got the same colours, the red, the blue and the yellow, and tried to kind of match up what was on the designs in the background of the picture. I think they were just like handprints and kind of splotches, probably just some toddlers playing around with finger paints. It's really cute, so I added a lot of extra little details here and there just to make them look adorable. And once I'd done that, I added a little bit of green because I noticed there was some green here and there, and that probably came when they mixed the the yellow and the red. And here I'm just using a bit of scrap paper to decide where the dog in the middle is going to go. I want to make sure that I include some of those really nice big dots and don't use all that kind of area up. So here I did a little practice drawing. It didn't turn out so well, so we're going to do another one, and I'm going to try and do it directly in watercolour. I think that might be a bit more fun. So I haven't sketched anything. I kind of did a practice sketch, but that's all. And here I'm going to be just going for it. So first of all, I'm going to be doing the head and the ears and his little body, and just doing a kind of basic shapes. And it's the easiest way to paint something if you're not sure what you're painting, is to pop in a bunch of basic shapes in watercolour, because you can paint over them and neaten them up. So as you can see, I'm adding in the colour, and as I'm doing that I'm neatening up the shapes to make them look a bit more realistic and adding in the kind of detail and shading that you would use. I put a little bit of water in a cap there because I kept having to add more water, but I didn't want to add a lot, and my larger jar of water was just too, like I was too worried I would knock it over or something while I was in the camera, so just a little cap with some water in it's quite handy. And I'm leaving some white spaces because that's where his eyes are going to go, and I want to make sure I leave that area white so that the dark colour of his eyes shows up really well. So make sure you leave a little spaces for his mouth, his nose and his eyes, and add in any extra details. And the useful part here is that you can just paint in this part any way you want, because all you're doing is blocking in some colours. I wasn't going for a full amount of detail. I was trying to make him look a bit more cartoon-like, sort of like a cute little cartoon dog that had gotten into the paints while the kids were painting. And I added in a whole bunch of detail. So there was like a lot of the fur. I added in some detail there, and added in the shapes of the feet and the shapes of the tail, and just made sure to make the parts that were underneath the dog, like his back legs, a bit darker, and the part that was more towards the front, like his chest, a little bit lighter. It just adds a little bit of dimension and shading. And neatened up his face a little bit, added a bit more shading to his little ears, just to make them look like they're actually folded over and not just stapled to the side of his head. And just neatening up any of those lines. Sometimes when you're painting, your lines do come out a bit streaky, so it can be helpful just to neaten them up a little bit. And I think like once you've got that kind of basic shape down, it's always handy to dry it. I am a hairdryer fiend. I can't wait for things. I'm very impatient. So hairdryers are super handy when you're watercolouring. Just chuck it on low and make sure that the water's at least a little bit dry before you start hairdrying. Like otherwise drops of water will move. So let it sort of dry a tiny bit. And now I'm going to be doing all the little details like his mouth and his teeth and his tongue and his gums and all of that around the mouth. I tried to make it as sort of neat as possible. Don't worry if you go too crazy with the red or the black and things like that, because you can always take some white paint afterwards and just add in any details that you missed. I wanted to make his eyes nice and dark because then they would stand out. And I'm going to add his nose. I tried to make that one a bit lighter with a bit more water, just so it was a sort of textured kind of pattern. And he had sort of like a black line where the edge of his lip was. I think that's where the gum is on the dogs. A lot of the time that's like a dark colour, like a black or a red. And add in the little side parts of his tongue and some edges around his eyes just to give them a bit more dimension. And once I'd done that part, I marked in where I wanted to put the teeth with a white pencil. And I got a tiny bit of just some titanium white. You usually get these, this is like an acrylic white colour that you get with watercolours. And it's very handy for doing any little details. And I'm using a very, very fine liner brush to do this. It's a very little tiny brush that I found on Wish. I think it's actually for doing nail art, but super handy for this kind of thing. And I added in all the little sort of glints of light in his eyes and the little teeth and that sort of thing. And I grabbed the black paint and the liner pen just to do some details of his fur and his little feet and that sort of thing, just to give him a bit more detail. Because I felt like he kind of looked like a giant blob of brown. So I added his little toenails and little fur and his toes. And then his big fluffy tail. Now all of this gets covered in paint because it looks like the dog was helping. I put helping in quotation marks with the painting with the kids, and that's why he kind of got a bit covered in paint. So once you've got all these little sort of design and everything drawn in, and adding in a bit of shadow here and there and that sort of thing just to make him look a bit more three-dimensional. It's always fun to put in all these little details. And I know, like, for me, it didn't turn out as realistic as I'd liked it to, but I think that was good because I wasn't going for realism. The whole point is I wanted to go for sort of, it's like a funny picture to me, so I wanted to make it look like a kind of funny cartoon. And I just wanted to add in now the little splotches of paint. So he has a lot of paint on him. So he's got like blue paint on his face, and he's got some red paint on his tail and on his little toes and all that kind of thing. So that's pretty much what I was doing. I was adding in all the little dots of paint, excuse me, and little splashes and things like here and there. I would imagine that he was probably there helping, and the kids were patting him and had paint on their hands and were getting it all over his fur. I'm sure he didn't mind. But I think he ended up looking super, super cute. A very happy little dog. So once you've got your dog design, dry it off, with a hairdryer of course, and cut your design out. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using a pair of scissors and very carefully cutting out around the edges, trying not to cut off too much of the nice details that I added. And I'm adding a little bit of a zigzag cut to where the fur is, just to give it a bit of spikiness. So when I paste it down, it's got a bit of texture and detail around the fur's edge, anywhere that it would be kind of spiky. And we'll do that tail as well. It might be useful to use a smaller pair of scissors, but these are just the ones that I had on hand, and I'm kind of used to using larger scissors. But if you're a young one, just be careful with the scissors, or maybe have an adult help you out there. And then you position him where you want, get a good amount of glue stick, pop it to the side of your artwork so don't get glue all over it like I nearly did. And I put a really good amount of glue because I didn't want it to move or wriggle around. And now that he is all done, I wanted to add in a couple of details I noticed in the painting. There was a little paintbrush next to him, and just up near his ear there was a little bowl of what looks like yellow paint. So I just wanted to add that in. It was like a little orange bowl. I had a little bit of yellow paint in it. And just finish off that little bit of orange just to make that little lip of the bowl. And now that it is all complete with all the little details, just adding a bit of white there on that brush, just to make it look a bit more sort of three-dimensional. Now that we're done, let's zoom out a little bit so you can see him. But I will show some shots at the end just so you can see the pictures side by side. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a sunshiny day.